LeadFoot TV. Join me with Ben Bellis. We're in his Mazda 3 MPS. How long have you had this car?
4 years. 4 years, but amongst two shells.
So you've had the engine for...
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know. The engine I've had for 3.5 years.
Okay.
Because the first one blew up.
So you've had one for 4 years. But mixtures of engines and shells.
Yeah. It's in spirit, it's the same car. In parts, it's about 20 cars probably. But the first engine didn't do me too badly. I got 70k out of it, and then it blew. Shot a comrade out the side into the firewall, and then I ended up getting the Generation 2 MPS engine, which is pretty much exactly the same with some very mild improvements. But that then fucking blew the ring seals on it.
Okay.
So I ended up just rebuilding it, really, forging it, boring it out, putting bigger pistons and all the goodies, really. I didn't mean to go as ballistic as I did.
So you've literally pretty much changed everything you can without going absolutely really mental.
Absolutely, yeah. The only thing left, like I say, is the fuel, really. The fuel and a bigger turbo. Well, there's always a bigger turbo.
So what sort of power is it running at the moment?
Somewhere around 400. We haven't finished the tune yet, but hopefully with all the parts combined and when it's working and tuned right, that should be what we're getting. It won't be running anything less than about 350, 380, I would have said. But without putting it on a dyno, I'm too scared to blow it up, if I'm honest. I feel like if I put it on a dyno, that's just going to be the end of its life again.
We'll start with suspension. What suspension are you running?
Alright, we're running ISC coilovers, 12-way adjustables, set to fully stiff. I don't know exactly how much I've lowered it, but it's not massive. It's more for functionality rather than just for being low for the sake of being low. As you can tell, the ride is stiff.
Yeah, it's not horrendous though, to be honest. I feel like we're on a really bad road at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's not that bad.
We are used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get someone that's not used to modified cars in here, and it's like complaining Central 101. Does make for a good laugh.
So, you still stock brakes?
No. Yeah, stock calipers, stock discs, but I've upgraded the pads to EBC yellow stuff just to get a bit more stopping power on it.
Okay.
The standard brakes are pretty capable, if I'm honest. I'm not going to push bigger power at the minute, but when I do, I'm definitely going to go for some 6 pots or some K-Sport 8 pots, I think, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
So it's all good fun going forward fast, but you've got to be able to stop at the same time.
Yeah. When we covered suspension brakes, exhaust is a Cork Sport.
Yeah, Cork Sport all the way back up to the turbo.
Yeah.
There is a stockist now that'll do them for you, but back when I bought it, he wasn't kind of doing MPS parts. That's generally how it goes with these anyway, you know.
Yeah.
Parts wise come and go.
And engine wise, we'll let list off some of your massive list of engine mods.
When it got rebuilt, it got every seal, every gasket, you know, all the usual little nibbins. They were all freshly put in. As for interesting bits, the main things were the Cork Sport cams to give me a bit more rev range when I combined that with the uprated springs and valves.
Yeah. Not
to mention we bored the whole thing out to about nearly 2.4 to accommodate the Wiseco Fatboy pistons at 88mm instead of 87.5. Paired them with some manly com rods, and then magic. Basically, got a few other pits put on it as well at the same time.
You've got the AirTech in the cooler, is that right?
I got that just after the engine build when I was chasing a boost leak on the original top mount system.
Yeah.
But it never really worked right at the top mount, so I decided that AirTech was probably the best choice. They hadn't long been making the system, but it friend from the owners club to model it, and he said it was working absolutely spot on, and for half the price it was a steal really, as opposed to shipping one over for it. But it works a treat, holds good boost, and it's pretty much half my boost temps, to be honest. Not right now, but normally.
When you're moving.
Yeah, when I'm actually throwing boost at it. I upgraded the turbo as well. The turbo used to be a KO4, but I went for an S3. The reason behind it not getting the S4 like most people do as an upgrade was I thought the turbo had gone instead of the engine. And it might have been a bit optimistic. But you know, I ended up with a turbo on it as well after the forge. And at the minute, I'm just kind of using this one to tune it in, and then as soon as we're happy with how it's running, how the boost is holding, I'm more than likely going to upgrade it within a month of it being right. I know what I'm like. Probably aiming for the S4 V3.
Because what kind of boost does it run at the moment?
It should be running, I say should, it should be running roughly 23 PSI, but at the minute we're kind of peaking at 20, falling back down to 18. I think, I'm not sure what the cause is at the minute. But that's where we're at with that.
Because it's a weird colour as well, isn't it? I've not really ever seen another MPS in this pearlescent white before.
The pearlescent, allegedly, so some of my friends tell me it's the rarest colour going. But when I actually bought this shell, I didn't have a clue what colour it was, what condition it was in. I bought it blind on the premise that I was getting it like within the next couple of days. Because we were building the car. We're swapping the engine from the old one that had an accident into this one a week before Santa Pod, with only a couple of hours every night. So when they rocked up and it was white, that was the first time I'd seen it. No pictures, nothing. And I think the first thing I said was, oh, for God's sake, that's going to be a pain in the ass to clean. And true to its word, it's a pain in the ass.
But when it is clean, it does look really nice.
It's kicked me into gear with cleaning it and keeping it shiny.
Probably not picked the best road to review a fast car, have we? It would probably be better off with like a Land Rover.
Maybe if I lift the suspension and make it a lift kit instead, that might work a bit better. That's the Lake District for you. You never know.
We spent about an hour in traffic. It's like people come up here to have like weekend drives, but you just don't, the traffic's so bad you just can't go anywhere.
Coming into it's not too bad on these back roads, but also you could get lost. And also get stuck behind something that you're not getting past. You know?
So let's give it some boost.
Alrighty then.
You know that moves.
Oh yes. That was almost a bit of an airtime as well if I'd gone at that full pace. It's just a fact of these cars. Everybody rants about the torque steer, but to be brutally honest, it's non-existent. It's there, but as soon as you've had it for an hour,
from one that I've driven, it's only really like first, second gear you get the torque steer. After that, it's not really an issue.
No, torque. It's one of people's favourite things to pick about these cars. There was somebody actually with an RX-8 that said the same thing to me. He was trying to dissuade me from buying the car. He was like, no, your torque steer everywhere. It doesn't stop. And I was like, okay. Drove it home and I was like, I had torque steer once pulling onto the motorway, and that was it.
And they're actually, even in stock form, they're a lot quicker than people think they are. My friend Giles had an MPS, and it was standard, and it would sit side by side with like a blow-by STI all day.
Absolutely.
And they're a quick little car.
I mean, the thing about these is, on a launch, that's a no. They won't beat things on a launch because there's too much power. And it spins the living crap out of the wheels. bit of throttle control, you can handle it, but unlike other cars, you know, even with a bit less power, where they can just absolutely floor it off the line, you're sat there spinning. But you get it on the motorway and start doing pulls from speed, and all of a sudden you become very much untouchable.
Yeah.
Especially with a bit more power. But standard form, you don't have to worry. You'll be taking out a lot of other standard cars, even some modified, to be honest. A lot of the typical boy racer cars are no match for a standard one of these with a good driver behind the wheel. But it's like anything, if you can't drive it, it's not going to go fast.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful with the turning. I mean, before you put the coilovers on, the handling on this was completely, I don't want to say bad, but it was, you wouldn't want to throttle it around these back roads here.
No, yeah.
Whereas if I was paying complete attention now, and there was nobody on these roads, we could be doing a good solid 60 or 60, 70 down here, and I wouldn't be too worried, apart from the sheep. But yeah, it's just little mods kind of make the biggest difference in this car. Coilovers is definitely one of the biggest game changers.
Yeah.
In terms of how it drives. You can knock, I've knocked so many seconds off my lap Alta after I put coilovers on compared to with stock suspension, because they're just awful on the corners, the body roll, you can't carry the speed. But that's definitely one of the go-to mods, and good tyres. You need good tyres on these.
Yeah, well that's the thing, is the biggest issue is that just putting traction down on the front, so having good tyres is like the best thing, one of the best things you can really do to it.
Oh, hands down. Like, I've gone through so many sets of tyres over the past 4 or 5 years trying to find the one.
Yeah.
You go to the owners clubs and everybody's got their own personal recommendations, but for me, I think it's what handles best for you and how you drive, because I've tried all the recommended ones, and generally I've found that they're alright in the dry, throw a little spray down, now good.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about a company from America called Nitto. I think they're American.
Yeah, they are, but I don't know if they are American, but they're big in America.
Yeah, they're big in America. That's what I'm going to go with. And a few of the Mazdaspeed boys, which is the American version, they absolutely go mental over these tyres, and it's pretty much a unanimous decision on them. So I'm looking forward to trying some of them when I next need tyres in about a month, probably.
Yeah.
I only put these on in January. But tyres and suspension, massive upgrade to be doing for it. And the exhaust, I mean, the exhaust sounds good.
Yeah, that's the problem with these cars standard, is they're really quiet, aren't they? There's no noise behind to them at all.
Well, they've got 2 catalyzers, and you know, a lot of people take out the second cat, which is the one easiest that you can see, and then completely just ignore the downpipe, which has got a cat in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're there trying to get the most power out of it, saying the D cat in it, and they're rocking around with still a cat in it. But once you start taking the cats out, it really does it gives it that groan, that deep tone. But to my ear, it sounds a bit like a Subaru, and a few other people have told me the same.
Yeah, it does a little bit, yeah.
It's got very much a Subaru burble, but that's since I've put the cams in. Before it was cammed, it didn't really have that same kind of...
Talk us through inside. So this is the cob access port, right?
Yeah, this is the cob access port B3, and what that allows me to do is basically remap the car and monitor all vital signs when the car's running. I'll turn it on so you can have a look. It's a very handy piece of kit. There's 2 options for tuning these cars. You've got VersaTune and you've got access port. It's a bit of a hot topic, really. It's one of them where they both do the same job, but people prefer one or the other.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer the cob, because you get this little unit here, and it's just convenient. It sits there, it stays, it does its job. Whereas VersaTune, you have to have a laptop. Yeah. And to log and do things, you have to have a laptop running in the car, which is more of an effort. And that's when it takes you onto there. You can kind of see all the stuff I monitor there. But you can change it all. You've got a very, very vast majority of things and sensors that you can go on. If I just click on one here, I mean, this is all the things that you can monitor on one of these. You know, you're not short of information there by any means.
Anything you want to know, isn't it?
Anything that's on the ECU is on there.
Yeah. And so this is not standard, is it?
No, no. This is just a little head unit we picked up on. It's made specifically for the car. but it's an Eonon Chinese thing really, but it's essentially just an Android tablet. Anything that you can run on your Android, you can run on there. A lot of us, a lot of people that have these tend to get a Bluetooth OBD adapter and get the Talk app.
Yeah, I think.
And put that on the screen so that they get a similar effect to that, but on here, but without a lot of the features, obviously.
Yeah, because that's one of the things about this car is the head unit and stuff is quite dated now, isn't it? Because obviously it's like it's just a CD player. You've got there was no auxiliary port in them or anything, was there? Or is
there is in the Mark IIs. In the Mark IIs, there's one there.
Ah, right, okay.
Sorry, not the Mark IIs. The facelifts.
Yeah. But the older ones.
The originals didn't have that. They didn't even have a cigarette lighter in there. That was just empty. Cool.
And then you've got your gauges that are currently broken at the moment.
yeah, that's true. But, I just can't take them out for nostalgia reasons. That was the first thing I bought was the pod holder.
Yeah.
And it makes the car look sporty. Let's be honest, at the end of the day, it's a Mazda 3.
Yeah.
So whatever you can put in it to make it look that little bit snazzier. But they worked for a year, but then once I got this...
Yeah, so you've got everything you need on that, so there's no point in replacing the gauges, I guess, is there?
I will do at some point. I'll get some nice digital ones or something and free up a few notches on here to monitor something else, but at the minute it's just not the priority really. You know, just sit there, look cool. Anybody driving past thinks I've got gauges, they don't need to know the difference.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for showing us around. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give the video a like, and if there's anything you want to know about the car, just drop it in the comments below, and between us we'll try and do our best to answer them. Probably more Ben than me. But yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Catch you in the next video. Peace out.